There is a deeper life moving in you now, a silent intelligence that has been beating your heart, circulating your blood, and repairing your body from the moment you were conceived. It has never once asked your permission, never once demanded your attention, yet it has obeyed faithfully every image, every belief, and every emotional command that you have impressed upon it. Tonight you are not merely listening to words. You are entering the inner chamber of that life, the hidden temple of the subconscious mind, where every thought becomes chemistry, every feeling becomes movement, and every belief becomes flesh. As you listen, a quiet agreement begins to form inside you. You begin to sense that what you call my body is not a separate object, but an outer screen upon which the inner film of your mind is projected. Your heart, your blood, your organs, your nerves, each is part of a magnificent orchestra, and the conductor is the consciousness within you. For years, perhaps, you have spoken about your body as though it were an enemy, as though it were failing you, as though it were something you were trapped in. Yet this body has never been your enemy. It has only been your servant, obeying the pattern given to it by the mind that lives beneath your thinking, the subconscious, the inner power, the silent creative factory of your life. Modern science tells us that your brain and nervous system are plastic, capable of changing their connections, their pathways, their responses. They call this neuroplasticity, and they describe how repeated thoughts and emotions carve grooves into the nervous system, making some reactions easy and automatic. Long before this scientific language existed, the great teachers of the mind said the same truth in a different way. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The heart in this statement is not merely the organ in your chest. It is your subconscious feeling, nature, the deeper mind that receives impressions and reproduces them faithfully, like fertile soil receiving seeds. What you impress, it expresses. What you believe, it builds. What you emotionally accept as true, it makes a fact in your body and in your world. Consider for a moment that your blood, moving now in divine circuits through your arteries and veins, is not random. It follows a blueprint. This blueprint is not merely genetic, it is also mental and spiritual. Every emotion you have ever repeated intensely, every belief you have cherished as unquestioned, has contributed to this blueprint. If you have long held images of fear, your blood has been carrying the chemistry of fear. If you have spoken often of stress, your nervous system has layered those words into the circuitry of your responses. Yet the moment you change the blueprint, the moment you offer the subconscious a new pattern, the silent creative force begins to reorganize the body according to the new instruction. You may have said in the past, my circulation is poor, my body is weak, my health never cooperates. Without realizing it, you are offering commands to the inner architect, and the subconscious, always literal, always obedient, took those statements as orders to the source is your inner consciousness. And so we come now to a quiet, powerful understanding. The same life that moves the tides, that spins the galaxies, is the life moving in your veins. It is not separate from you. It is the very essence of you. When you turn your attention inward and align your thought with this life, you are praying in the highest sense, scientifically, spiritually, effectively. You are saying, in essence, let the pattern of the divine be the pattern of my body. Let the rhythm of the cosmos be the rhythm of my heart. Let the peace of the infinite be the atmosphere of my mind. These are not empty words. They are creative decrees. The subconscious hears them and begins its silent work. You may not see the full result immediately, but you can feel the direction. You can feel the shift from fear to trust, from contraction to openness, from fragmentation to wholeness. Every time you return to these truths, you reinforce the new pattern. In the gentle conclusion of this inner journey, you rest in the certainty that transformation has already begun. The temple of your body, once spoken of in terms of limitation, is now being recognized as a sacred dwelling of infinite life. Your blood, once described as troubled, is now being commanded to flow in harmony with the law of divine order. Your subconscious, once programmed by accident, is now being programmed by conscious choice. You do not need to force this process. You simply remain faithful to it. Day by day, thought by thought, feeling by feeling, You cooperate with the inner wisdom, and as you do, a quiet miracle unfolds, not a violation of natural law, but the fulfillment of it. The outer world begins to mirror the inner law you have accepted. Know with calm certainty that the creative power has always been within you. The subconscious mind, this silent, obedient, infinitely capable servant, stands, ready at every moment to accept your next instruction. Choose that instruction wisely. Let it be one of harmony, of health, of peace, of divine cooperation. Let your inner word be, "My blood circulates in perfect order. My body is a restored temple. My mind is aligned with truth. The infinite intelligence acts through me now." And as you hold to this, gently, steadily, you will discover for yourself that all true healing begins with a shift in consciousness, with a single decision to think in accordance with the divine pattern rather than appearances. In that decision lies your freedom. In that decision, your temple is renewed. In that decision, your life is transformed from within. Be fulfilled. It does not argue with you. It does not reason. It simply accepts. If you say, "My blood does not flow well," it assumes that you desire that condition and supports it. But now, in this quiet and sacred moment, you begin to understand that you can speak a new word, give a new command, offer a new mental law to this inner power. Picture your subconscious mind as a great luminous power plant, humming softly beneath the level of conscious awareness. It receives the raw material of images, beliefs, and feelings, and it transforms them into the currents of your life, into brain signals, hormonal messages, and biological responses. Your blood is like a sacred river flowing through the temple of your body. Each thought you think drops into this river like a dye, coloring it. Each feeling you repeat adds an electromagnetic signature to that flow. Modern instruments can now observe how emotional states change heart rhythms, blood pressure, and even immune function. Yet these are only the outer signs of an inner law that has always existed. Your inner world governs your outer condition. As you listen, you may notice your body beginning to settle. The surface mind, with its habitual anxieties and calculations, begins to loosen its grip. The deeper mind is ready to receive a new instruction. You are learning that prayer, in its highest form, is not begging or pleading. It is scientific mental conditioning. It is the deliberate planting of seeds in the soil of the subconscious. It is the gentle but firm command given to the inner doctor, the divine intelligence within your being that says, "This is the pattern I choose to express. This is the law I accept as mine." Your subconscious mind has been conducting the circulation of your blood without your conscious effort. Even now, as you sit or lie quietly, your heart is beating, your blood is flowing, your cells are receiving oxygen and nourishment. Imagine, not as a forced image, but as a calm realization that this same power can be directed, guided, and harmonized through your conscious cooperation. You are not creating a new power, you are aligning with the power that has always been there, waiting for your wise command. There once was a man who spent years speaking about his weak heart and poor blood. Every conversation, every complaint became a form of negative prayer. He felt tired, and he told others about his exhaustion. He felt heavy, and he described his heaviness in detail. Eventually, his body reflected exactly what he kept affirming. When he finally learned of the silent laws of the subconscious mind, he made a simple but profound change. Each night before sleep, and each morning upon waking, he began to say slowly and with feeling, "My blood flows freely, joyously, and harmoniously. My heart is strong, calm, and secure. The divine life circulates through me in perfect rhythm. Every cell of my body is a temple of the living Spirit." At first it felt artificial to him, because he had rehearsed weakness for so long, but he persisted gently, without strain. Within months, his physician found remarkable improvement in his circulation and heart function. The world might call this a miracle, but it was simply the outworking of eternal law. He had offered his subconscious a new seed, and the soil responded. Your own body is no different. Your blood is ready to respond to a new instruction. Your nervous system is capable of forming new pathways. What modern medicine calls neuroplasticity is the physiological face of spiritual law. When you repeatedly think and feel in a certain way, your neurons fire together. When they fire together often enough, they wire together. This wiring produces habits of thought and emotion. But the deeper truth is this: the wiring is not the cause, it is the effect. The cause is the belief you hold, the inner image you accept. Change the belief, and the brain will gradually remold itself. Change the image, and your blood chemistry will follow. Your body is the clay. Your subconscious impression is the mold. The subconscious mind does not understand the language of force or struggle. It responds to emotional intensity, to feeling, to conviction. When you approach it in fear, I must fix this or something terrible will happen, it senses the fear and reproduces more of it. When you approach it in calm certainty, I am now establishing a new law of harmony in my body. It registers that calm as a signal of truth and begins to act accordingly. This is why secrecy, silence, and inner conviction amplify the power of manifestation. When you quietly and consistently affirm a new truth for your body, without broadcasting your doubts or seeking constant reassurance from others, you are strengthening the inner signal. You are telling your subconscious, this is self-evident, this is my reality. Your whole body is an electromagnetic field. Each thought emits a subtle vibration. Each emotion radiates a frequency. Your blood, carrying ions and charges, responds to this field. Think of your mind as a magnet seat, acting the pattern for the movement of particles. If you hold an internal image of turbulence, conflict, and constriction, your magnetic field reflects that pattern, and your body follows. If you cultivate inward pictures of ease, flow, and harmony, your inner field becomes a blueprint of health, and your body begins to realign with that design. There is a sacred practice that uses the night hours for this reprogramming. It has been called the sleeping method. In the final minutes before sleep, when your conscious mind is growing quiet and the subconscious is opening like a receptive field, you choose your last thoughts as carefully as a gardener choosing seeds. Instead of replaying the events of the day with worry, instead of rehearsing the body's discomfort, you gently turn your attention to a new pattern. You say inwardly, very softly, as I sleep, the divine intelligence within me restores the temple of my body. My blood circulates in perfect harmony. Every organ is bathed in peace. I give my subconscious this command: restore, renew, and balance my entire being. You do not strain, you do not argue with symptoms. You simply offer the new blueprint and then let sleep carry it deep into the inner workshop. In the night, while your conscious mind dreams, the inner doctor is at work. Neural pathways are pruned and strengthened. Hormones are regulated. Cells are repaired. Your subconscious mind is always listening, and it continues to act upon the last instruction impressed upon it with feeling. If that last impression is worry and fear, it amplifies those patterns in the body. If that last impression is harmony and restoration, it cooperates with that law. Scientific prayer, then, is not superstition. It is the deliberate direction of thought and feeling toward the result you desire, grounded in the understanding that your subconscious is the silent engine behind your experiences. When you pray scientifically, you do not say, I hope this will work. You say with quiet conviction, this is now the law of my life. You may speak words such as, the divine life flows through me now in perfect balance. My blood is a river of light, circulating freely, easily, and joyously. Every cell of my body hears this command and obeys. I am calm, I am safe, I am restored. As you repeat such words, not mechanically but with feeling, you are programming the subconscious. You are placing a new record upon the turntable of your inner mind, and life will play that record through the instrument of your body and circumstances. It is very important to understand that the subconscious does not distinguish between real and imagined experience. If you vividly rehearse a scene of fear, your body responds with the chemistry of fear. If you vividly rehearse a scene of peace, your body responds with the chemistry of peace. This is why visualization is such a powerful tool for healing and transformation. When you deliberately create an inner image of your desired state, the subconscious takes that image as a directive. You can at this very moment close your eyes inwardly and begin a simple visualization. See, in the theater of your mind, the interior of your body as a luminous temple. Each organ is like an altar of living intelligence. Your heart is a rhythmic lantern of light. Your blood vessels are shining pathways, channels of liquid life. You see your blood moving smoothly, effortlessly, like a clear river winding through a peaceful valley. There is no obstruction, no turbulence, only flow. You silently affirm, "This is the truth of me. This is the pattern I now accept." You do not concern yourself with how the subconscious will bring this about. You simply know that it will, because that is its nature. It takes the image you supply and works from that blueprint. Many people are burdened by memories of illness, stress, and limitation. They feel as though their emotional history is written into their very tissues, and in a way it is. Traumas and long-term stress can leave imprints in the nervous system. They shape what modern psychologists call emotional patterning. You may find yourself reacting to certain situations with tension, even when nothing truly threatening is present. The subconscious has learned that pattern, and it repeats it automatically. Yet no pattern is permanent. The same mind that accepted the pattern can transform it. Emotional alchemy is the process by which you deliberately transform these states. Instead of fighting against anxiety, you gently substitute it with peace. Instead of resisting fear, you introduce love. This is the law of substitution. You cannot think of two things at the same time. If you fill your mind with the feeling of, "I am safe, I am guided, I am restored," there is no room in that moment for its opposite. At first, the old pattern may return again and again, but each time you calmly substitute the new feeling, you are weakening the old groove and deepening the new one. Over time, the subconscious accepts the new pattern as its default. Imagine, for instance, that you have spent years feeling that your body is fragile. Perhaps a physician spoke words that frightened you, and those words became a repeated mental picture. Your subconscious, honoring that picture, amplified signals of fear. Your heart beat faster, your blood vessels tightened, your muscles remained tense. Now, in this moment of new understanding, you gently introduce a different feeling. When the old fear arises, you do not scold yourself. You simply breathe and say inwardly, "The divine life in me cannot be fragile. The power that beats my heart is infinite and wise. My blood, my nerves, my organs are expressions of this life. I choose now to rest in this truth." You repeat this often in quiet moments until the words begin to feel less like statements and more like descriptions of an inner reality that you are touching. In this way, your mind becomes a workshop of transmutation. Thoughts of weakness are melted down and recast as thoughts of strength. Ideas of chaos are dissolved and reshaped as images of order. Each substitution is a small step, but the subconscious accumulates these steps. It does not forget. Every sincere affirmation, every moment of emotional release, every visualization of harmony leaves an imprint. The inner reservoir of your mind fills gradually with images of health and peace, and as it fills, it must overflow into your body and your life. Remember that the subconscious mind loves repetition. Just as a garden cannot be transformed by one day of planting, your inner garden is cultivated over time. You return again and again to the truth, not as a desperate plea, but as a calm remembrance. My blood is commanded by divine intelligence. Every circulation in my body is guided by perfect order. You may say such words quietly, even silently, as you walk, as you rest, as you prepare to sleep. You are not forcing anything. You are simply reminding the inner power of the pattern you wish it to express. There is a quiet dignity in keeping this work sacred. When you talk excessively about your symptoms, your doubts, and your fears, you are broadcasting a vibrational signal that confuses the subconscious. You say, "I am healed," in your secret prayer, but then you say, "I am so sick," in your conversations. The subconscious hears both and tries to reconcile them. By practicing secrecy and silence about your inner work, you strengthen one signal. This is not secrecy born of fear, but of reverence. You are honoring the sacredness of the inner temple. You quietly know that your word is law to your subconscious, and you refuse to dilute that word by contradicting it publicly. Your body responds to stories. The subconscious is a perfect listener, and it listens to the stories you tell about yourself. When you say, "I always get sick," or "My family has bad circulation," you are reciting a script that the subconscious will dutifully enact. Yet you can begin to tell a new story. You can say, "In the past I experienced imbalance, but now I am aligning with divine order. My body is learning a new way. My blood is learning a new flow. I am guided by universal intelligence." In time, this new narrative sinks beneath the level of words and becomes a felt reality. Let us speak now directly to that deeper part of you, not the part that analyzes these ideas, but the part that can enact them. Beneath your thoughts, beneath your opinions, there is a quiet, receptive field. To that deeper mind, we say, "You are the silent wisdom that has been maintaining this body. You know every cell, every vessel, every rhythm. You are the infinite intelligence that designed circulation itself. You know how to dissolve clots, how to open blocked pathways, how to balance pressure, how to restore perfect flow. You respond to the pattern impressed upon you. Therefore receive now this pattern. The blood of this one flows freely, joyously, harmoniously. There is no obstruction in the temple of this body. Every artery is clear, every vein is open, every capillary is a channel of light. The heart beats in calm, steady rhythm, in harmony with the cosmic pulse. The nervous system rests in peace. There is no war within, only cooperation. This is the new law. As these words sink in, you may notice a subtle sense of relief, as though your body has been waiting to hear such a message. You may not feel anything dramatic at first. Do not let that trouble you. The subconscious is working even when the surface mind doubts. It is like a seed that has just been planted. You do not see its roots forming beneath the soil, yet they are forming. You do not see the stem pushing its way upward in the dark, yet it is pushing. You simply trust the law. What you sow, you shall reap. Now let us deepen this process through a gentle inner journey. If you are willing, allow yourself to settle more fully into your body. Notice that beneath any tension, there is a quiet life supporting you. Begin by observing the breath without trying to change it. This is the breath that has been given to you by the Infinite. Each inhalation is life entering the temple. Each exhalation is release, a letting go. With each breath, you quietly repeat inwardly, "I am safe, I am guided, I am being restored." These words are not wishes, they are directives. They are instructions to the subconscious, which hears them and begins to organize the body in alignment with their meaning. Now in the inner vision, see again your bloodstream as a series of glowing rivers. See the heart as a central sun, sending out waves of warmth and light with every beat. With each pulse, the blood carries this light to every part of the body. Feel that the very center of your being is stable and calm. If any part of the body has felt neglected or troubled, gently bring it to mind now and surround it with the image of this glowing, flowing blood. Do not think of the problem. Think of the solution. Think of this area being bathed in peace, bathed in clarity, bathed in order. You may say inwardly, "The divine intelligence is now at work here. My blood obeys the law of harmony." When old thoughts of fear or doubt try to intrude, you practice the law of substitution. You do not argue with them. You do not try to push them away forcibly. You simply offer a different thought, a different feeling. You might say, "I choose now to contemplate health," or "The power that made me is now restoring me." Over time, this gentle substitution becomes habitual. You find that your first response to discomfort is no longer panic, but prayerful alignment. You are not alone in this process. There is a universal intelligence, a field of divine wisdom in which you live and move and have your being. This wisdom knows how to circulate the planets around the sun. It knows how to circulate seasons across the earth. The same law of rhythm and flow that governs the cosmos governs the circulation in your body. When you align your subconscious beliefs with this universal law, you place your individual temple under the protection of cosmic order. Modern physics speaks of quantum fields, subtle layers of reality in which particles emerge and disappear, guided by invisible patterns. In a similar way, your thoughts and feelings create a field around and within you, an invisible atmosphere of expectation. This field is your mental and emotional signature. Your blood moves within this field. When the field is filled with fear and resentment, the body feels heavy. When the field is filled with gratitude and trust, the body feels lighter. You ours. You're now learning to tune your field deliberately. One of the most powerful ways to do this is through gratitude. Gratitude is not merely saying thank you with the lips. It is a deep recognition that life is sustaining you in countless ways, even when you are not aware. When you feel gratitude for your body, your subconscious receives the message that the body is treasured, and it responds by caring for it more diligently. You might say inwardly, I am grateful for my heart. I am grateful for my blood. I am grateful for the wisdom that knows exactly how to heal. As you feel this gratitude sincerely, notice how your body relaxes. This relaxation allows the nervous system to shift out of fight or flight and into repair and restoration. Remember that the inner world always precedes the outer world. You will not wait for perfect conditions to feel peace. You will feel peace now, and conditions will gradually conform. You will not wait for the doctor's report to feel hopeful. You will feel hope now, and the body will respond to that hope. This is not denial of facts. It is alignment with a higher fact. The highest fact is that you are one with an infinite intelligence that knows no limitation. Think of your mind as a spiritual factory. The conscious mind is like the manager, choosing which orders to place. The subconscious mind is the machinery, tirelessly producing whatever the manager requests. If the manager foolishly orders fear, the machinery will produce circumstances that justify fear. If the manager wisely orders harmony, the machinery will produce conditions that reflect harmony. You are now learning to be a wise manager. You are learning to place orders of peace, of health, of flow. You are commanding your blood to circulate in harmony, not by muscular strain, but by inner decree. This decree is not a harsh command. It is a loving directive. You're not shouting at your body. You're speaking to it as a beloved temple, asking it to remember its original design. You might say, beloved body, beloved bloodstream, I know you are designed by divine intelligence. I know your natural state is harmony. I now align my thinking with that truth. I withdraw all permission I have unknowingly given to fear, to stress, to resentment. I choose peace. I choose flow. I choose order. And I trust the inner power to make it so. If you allow these truths to settle, a new self-understanding begins to dawn. You realize that you are not a victim of your biology. You are the steward of it. You are not at war with your body. You are in partnership with it. The subconscious mind is the mediator between your inner beliefs and your physical expression. Treat it with respect, and it will serve you with fidelity. In the days ahead, you may continue this work through simple practices. Each night before sleep, you revisit the sleeping method. You lie quietly, perhaps with a hand resting gently over your heart, and you say, as I sleep, my subconscious restores the temple. My blood circulates perfectly. My heart rests in divine rhythm. I release this instruction and trust the inner wisdom. Then you drift into sleep. Knowing that the night is now your collaborator. Upon waking, before you reach for your devices or re-enter the world of noise, you take a few moments to establish the tone of the day. You might say, today my mind is aligned with harmony. My blood flows freely. My steps are guided. My body is a clear instrument of divine life. These morning words are like setting the compass of your consciousness. Throughout the day, you practice emotional alchemy. When stress arises, you do not condemn yourself. You simply pause and breathe. You recall that every emotional state is an opportunity to choose again. You might say, I feel tension, but I am not tension. I am the awareness that can choose peace. You imagine your bloodstream clearing, your nerves softening, your heart steadying. The body feels this choice and responds. Over time, the cumulative effect is profound. You find that certain old complaints begin to soften. Pain that once seemed chronic becomes less frequent. The mind feels clearer. The heart feels more open. You notice that you speak differently about your body. You no longer call it broken. You call it holy. You no longer see it as something separate from your spiritual life. You see it as the temple in which your spiritual life is expressed. In this entire journey, belief is the law of life. What you truly believe, not what you merely wish, determines your experience. You are now cultivating a belief in harmony, in restoration, in divine cooperation. At first, this belief may feel like a seed in rocky soil, but as you water it with repeated affirmation, visualization, and gratitude, it grows. It sends roots down into the subconscious and stems up into your daily attitudes. There will be moments when the old beliefs try to reassert themselves. Perhaps a symptom flares, or a fearful thought arises. In those moments, you remember that you are not going backward. You are being invited to deepen your conviction. You turn again to your inner practice. You say, "This appearance is temporary. The truth is eternal. The truth is that divine life circulates through me now. I remain faithful to that truth." This faith is not blind. It is grounded in the recognition that the same intelligence that created your body knows how to restore it. In the stillness of this understanding, you begin to feel a new sense of sovereignty. You are no longer tossed about by every wave of sensation or every passing thought. You recognize that you have access to a power greater than any symptom, greater than any diagnosis. This power is not outside you. It is the very life in your blood, the very rhythm in your heart, the very awareness listening to these words. And so gently, kindly, you assume a new role in your own life. You become the wise caretaker of your subconscious, the loving guardian of your inner speech. You refuse to speak against yourself. You refuse to curse your body with careless words. Instead, you speak blessings. You say, "My body is my ally. My blood is my messenger of life. My subconscious is my faithful servant. Together we express harmony." As this new language becomes familiar, your world subtly rearranges its elf. You notice that you are drawn to choices that support your well-being. The subconscious, influenced by your new beliefs, guides you toward healthier habits without strain. You may find yourself naturally drinking more water, walking more, breathing more deeply. These are outer echoes of an inner change. The temple is being restored from within. In this restoration, there is no need for self-judgment about the past. Whatever thoughts you have thought, whatever fears you have felt, are already in the past. The only moment of creative power is now. In this now, you are planting new seeds. In this now, you are authoring a new script. In this now, you are commanding your blood to circulate in harmony, your nerves to rest in peace, your mind to dwell in truth. The journey you are on is not merely physical, it is spiritual. You are awakening to the realization that the universe is mental and that your personal universe is shaped by the images you hold within. As you refine these images, as you choose them deliberately, you step out of the role of passive observer and into the role of conscious creator. This is what it means to return to personal sovereignty. You no longer feel helpless in the face of conditions. You recognize that conditions are the echo, not the source.